Hello and welcome to the Illuminating Crossroads community. My name's Lisette and today we're going to go ahead and do a month ahead collective reading. So I thought it would be nice to get some channeled messages for us to start off with, to just see what are some things that are being highlighted within this month ahead for us within September, and then we're going to move into pulling some cards. So first, to start off, I would invite you to maybe grab some water, a cup of tea if you'd like. You can grab a journal or a notebook if you'd like to take some notes. And just inviting yourself to really create spaciousness, to be fully present, to receive these messages that would like to come through as a support for you within this time. And of course, just remembering all of these messages are merely to give further inspiration towards what you're already feeling, what you already know within a deep resonance within your core essence. So with that being said, we'll go ahead and dive in. So for the collective intuitive messages, the first thing that I received was this month is really important for grounding into routines that feel good for us, so we feel more grounded. And so spending time with nature and noticing the changes externally and internally, so we can become present within what our own cycles and our own seasons are at this time. It'll be a month of finding deeper levels of forgiveness so we can let go, and especially emphasizing forgiveness towards ourselves. This month, it will be important to find balance in between finding action and rest. And there's this highlighting of internal joy. So really keeping track of the things that light you up or light us up as we move through the month, so we don't become lost within the mundane things that we have to do within our day-to-day lives, so we can really stay in tune with this essence of inspiration, of creativity, and of innocence, and not get swept away with feeling like we're not living life. And then another important thing that came through is being intentional with the colors you wear and surrounding yourself with. So noticing how different colors are affecting your mood and seeing if you can be a bit more intentional towards like the colors that you're wearing, even intentional maybe towards the foods that you're eating, and really noticing if you're feeling pulled to a specific color. Is it nourishing and uplifting you, or is there a specific color that is kind of almost feeling dense and as if it's draining you? So really just being mindful of that if that feels resonant towards you. And then another big thing is focusing on decluttering, cleaning, and spiritual hygiene is super important for this month. So especially because we're going to have the eclipses taking place soon, and we're being invited to find more karmic release within that nodal axis of Aries and Libra. So we just want to really be mindful as we come through these maybe lessons or tests or initiations within our life, however you like to view it, to just make sure that we can actually receive them in a space that's of more ease and more grace, because we're not stuck within these shadow aspects of ourselves, and we have invited ourselves to really step into this point of self-illumination for ourselves, to be supported as we're going through some of the turbulent energies, or let's just say more initiatory energies for our collective. All right. So those are all the channeled messages. So we're going to go ahead and dive into the tarot cards now. So with the tarot cards, we're going to be looking at what are the overall energies of the month ahead, of this month of September 2024. And I will say, since this first card came out and it stayed upside down or hidden, I do feel like this month there is an opportunity to really find more depth within some of the areas in our life that have been like, it's almost seems like there hasn't been a pathway forward. And it's like, in this month, if you are tapping into that essence of like truly finding more balance and being more disciplined or really devoted towards your spiritual hygiene, that there will be this unveiling of what it means to find a little bit more grace and simplicity. These are a lot of cards, so I'm not going to take them. All right, so here we go. Oh, and I love that. So I think that's beautiful. So in thinking of that, so the Ace of Cups is this invitation really to find, I want to say, this up-leveling in emotional maturity this month. So inviting yourself to see as you're moving through this particular time, what are things that are coming towards its end of, it's like, okay, this pattern, or let's say, example, say if there's been just like this habit of maybe taking things too personally, or really getting inside your head, or getting stuck within certain things that take place, how can you invite flow of letting go, and even maybe like giving some forgiveness towards yourself for maybe taking things a bit more personal, and just knowing that you're being handed this opportunity to invite new perspectives so that you can have more flow within your emotional and also your mental bodies. Because I keep looking at the bird, and I just keep thinking of this air elemental, and especially with the clouds. So it's like being given an up-leveling within the emotional body, so then there can be more of this union between mental and emotional awareness within your experience. And then within that, in allowing for this renewal within that emotional space, it gives way to actually find more depth of like gratitude. So gratitude could be something that's really important for this month ahead. So if that's not something that you already have a practice with, seeing how can you invite that in, especially since we have the Ten of Pentacles here. And also, we are going to, towards the later half of the month, be moving into the fall season. So just thinking of harvesting all that has been gifted from spring to summer, now to fall, as we invite ourselves to really celebrate, to let go, and to really honor the spaces that you've cultivated for yourself, to allow for an awareness of things that have reached their peak within the cycle, and to invite a letting go, to invite this renewal. And then with the Queen of Pentacles, I also want to say this month, family might be more of a focus for you, even pets, and just really finding deeper connection. And then the Queen of Pentacles here, there may be a woman figure who is highlighted within your life, or maybe this is you of just finding again that emotional maturity within this feminine aspect of self, regardless of how you identify. And also thinking of this fertile energy too, especially because I'm being called towards the little bunny. And it might be supportive if you do find yourself in this space that is not feeling grateful or not feeling abundant. Of course, always honoring what is present, but seeing if you can invite yourself to go into spaces that allow you to feel safe and secure, to be held, and to really be cleansed, to be renewed. So some things that are really sticking out to me is, of course, nature, which I think came through in the channeled messages. And then I'm also looking at the little rivers that are in the back of the card, and even the mountains. So maybe allowing yourself to go for hikes, or if you have a garden, maybe getting back towards working in the garden if you haven't been as present in that space, and just allowing yourself to really find what allows you to feel within this space of feeling security within your body and within the spaces that you're in within your life presently. And then the last tarot card that we have here is the World. So this is in reverse. So there might be some, I'm going to put this one out too, because it was on the back of the deck. All right. So there might be some things that arise during this month that you might find it hard or difficult to invite yourself to find change within. So a few things that the World card is making me think of is really emphasizing the fixed signs. So thinking of the zodiac, I should say. So just thinking of in the areas of life where you may be super fixed within, how can you invite yourself to find more mutability, adaptability, if you will, especially because right now we're within Virgo season, and Virgo is a mutable earth sign. So it's adapting within this material plane. It's really inviting awareness of our spirit or our soul, but connection with physical like matter. So again, coming back, I think it was mentioned in the cyclical nature of things too, and just like noticing and honoring your own season, knowing when something that you've been so fixed within, you don't have to stay within that space anymore, because you can invite a choice of change for yourself so that you can feel like there is more flow, there is more movement, and that you are grounded and centered within your reality of your world. So I'm just going to leave that reverse though, since that's how it came out. And then here is the Two of Pentacles in reverse. So it could, this month ahead also could be giving a gift of, if there's been something that you've been going back and forth on or debating, now you might be finally choosing to not be so indecisive, to maybe be a bit more courageous, to just make a choice, to know that, you know, all the turbulent waters that you may have experienced in the past, they had their purposes, there was a reason, and now it's time to like honor, like I'm seeing like almost this image of like the storm, like to honor that the storm is over, and to know that like you don't have to stay within the essence of being within that storm. if it's not present anymore. So really like identifying, is that storm still there, or are you just keeping yourself within the storm that you experienced even though it's past? So hopefully that makes some sense. All right. And then now we're going to get a message from our angels and ancestors. So we're just going to see, how can we find deeper healing and clarity within this month? Or how can you find deeper healing and clarity within this month? I know I always go back from like you and we, but I just say it because, you know, I'm part of these energies too. Yeah, so I just want to say that. All right, so let's see. So just connecting with your ancestors and angels. So for this, how can you find deeper healing and clarity within this month? To allow for more ease and grace within these energies that are present. Okay, so I feel this one. Beautiful. So I love that this is coming out, because again, it's just reiterating those energies of nature that were coming out again. And oh my goodness. Okay, let me finish this thought. So just reiterating that those energies of nature that were coming through. So, and also thinking back towards, which I think I said before, of just like grounding into routines that feel good to you, that feel grounded and centered. So really honoring that. And green may be a color that might be supportive for you to work with in this month ahead. It might be healing to your soul, so seeing if that resonates, and also really inviting yourself to call upon your guardians, or if you work with any of the elemental spirits or just different earth spirits, that might be really supportive to do. There might be a connection to birds or spiders in this month ahead as well. And I'm also being drawn towards the symbols on the body, like on the arms and the hands. So maybe if you have any magical practices, if you'd like to maybe make some sigils to support you within this month ahead, or maybe even just deepening into your magical practices to really connect with your inner worlds and the outer world with more equilibrium. So then we have the direction guardian. So choose your path. So I love that this came out, because it's essentially like it has the four signs again coming out. So I feel called to share. So it's been interesting. I've been in contemplation lately, and really honestly throughout this entire year, it's been weird to me, because I've been looking around and I've been seeing the seasons are like, we're in one season, but it feels like another, and it's just interesting. And I was actually telling a friend the other day, I was like, you know, it's so weird, just we were on a hike and we were in nature, and I was like, well, it's just so interesting, because like I look at the nature here and I can see all four seasons, and it's almost like the universe is saying like pick your own adventure, like pick the season you want to choose to be within. And I think just with this, with direction guardian, choose your path, I think that also, since, you know, the Two of Pentacles is here as well, if you've been feeling like, I don't know what way to go, I don't know what to do, coming back towards like highlighting what brings that internal joy and allows you this essence of feeling like your cup is overflowing, that's bringing you joy, because that will give you a sense of direction and what to not just what to focus on, but really what to cultivate more of within your life. So yes, of course, you can think of like the things that you want to manifest and what you're working towards as far as goals and stuff, but also really thinking of like what have you already experienced? What do you have, especially like in reference to that storm that we were kind of talking about before. So, really honoring everything that you moved through from all of these things that you have experienced. Where, like, if you could just choose, what season would you like to be within? What would you like to honor right now? Are you in a phase of wanting to plant seeds to grow? Are you in a season of just harvesting of what you've already grown? Are you in a season of winter, of being a bit more within this void of space, of finding reconnection to restoring and nourishing your body, so then you can find more creative ideas or to put out there in the timing of which would feel good? Or are you in this summer season where you want to be out and about, you want to shine your light, you want to share, and so just thinking of all of those things. And since both of these are guardian cards, really within this month it'll be super supportive to work with your guardian. So working with your ancestors, your angels, if you work with your galactic family, maybe doing that, and just allowing for guidance and support to be acknowledged, that's available to you. So knowing that you're not alone, you're supported, and also honoring your inner compass, because I'm looking at this and just saying the I. So maybe really inviting yourself to, once again, deepen that meditation practice, or just taking time to yourself so you can honor the messages that are coming through from you to you. All right, so next we're going to pull some additional practical steps from the Animal Spirit Oracle deck, although I feel like kind of might be a little redundant, but we'll just see if we can get some supportive insights that can add to this message. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to put this here. So we have Nightingale Spirit, love is all around. So with this card, and Nightingale, I love that it's a bird. So first off, just thinking of like, I don't want to say, especially because the Ace of Cups, so thinking emotionally, and I'm also thinking of like Venusian energy, so just thinking of things that bring a sense of pleasure, of joy, maybe finding dance or music, and also listening to what you're hearing around you, because there might be messages or just insight that's coming through, and also there might just be giving of letting you know that you are loved, that everything around you is waiting to connect with you, to find this deeper essence of love within. And I will add this card because this came through too. So we might put these on the edge actually. So the other card that came out is Panther Spirit, and it says reclaim your power. So I love how these are kind of like almost like night and day, and like duality in a sense when you like look at them in their essence, because Panther Spirit is asking, I kind of feel like invoking this like Queen of Pentacles of like, what does it mean to claim oneself, to be whole? And again, coming back to the World card as well. So I'm just going to leave it upright because it's like in you being the center seat of your world, what does it mean to have your sovereignty and your inner authority back in its place, and to know that like life, especially with like love is all around, that whole saying, like life is not against you, everything is working for you, and it's just asking you to find a deeper sense of awareness so that you can acknowledge what it is that is rising to the surface that your soul is desiring to integrate, to learn, to embody as wisdom, so then you can move forward in whatever direction that you choose, and to stay confident and firm and really trusting and surrendering into knowing that you can be within your power even if you don't have the full picture, that you can trust that your guides, that source, God, goddess, however you like to view that source, is giving you a pathway as you initiate and share how you want to intentionally move through the pathways that you're desiring. So remembering that it's this co-creative process. So I'm just like looking at 44 and just thinking of fours being like a foundation or a solidified like structure, that it's like there's a solidified structure and foundation of the divine, and then you have your solidified defined structure of self, of awareness of all these different parts of yourself, so that you can come together with source, creator, God, goddess, and move from this place of love and of knowing what it is that you really have to gift, to give, and letting yourself receive as well. All right. And then next we're going to pull some cards to see if there are any messages that would like to be shared from the archetypical realm of the planetary bodies or the signs, the zodiac signs. Okay. All right, so we have Pisces, so it says intimacy, intuition, and compassion. And then we have opposition, imbalance, a point of tension, and a power struggle. So, for Pisces, when the moon is in Pisces this month, that could be a point of awareness for self. This could also be speaking towards Saturn and Neptune within Pisces. So just thinking of the structures of which you're building, really bringing awareness to the illusions that you're holding within your mind. I don't know why I was just drawn to that, or thinking of the third eye, or the first eye. And really, I'm just getting this like cleansing. Like, I don't know why, I feel like I'm hearing like a river or a waterfall, and there's just this like cleansing and just again deepening your connection with self so that you can feel once again rooted and grounded in this month ahead. And then here for opposition, we will be having the full moon. I don't remember the exact date that it is, but it will be a full moon in Pisces, if I'm not mistaken. So that in itself could be like a really big point of illumination for yourself to see, like, where are the areas that you've still been holding a lot of tension. There's been too much imbalance. Maybe you've been trying to have a lot of control when there's actually been this factor of asking you to let go, to release, to create space, so then there can be clarity through intuition instead, which I'm just realizing you can't see what I'm pointing at. So that might be a key time. So lastly, we're just going to pull some crystal cards. So we're just going to see what crystal devas would be supportive to work with or to call upon during this month ahead. So what crystal devas would be supportive for you to work with or call upon for this month ahead? So interesting. I feel like a lot are wanting to come out, but then it's like, nope. So I will say, if you already, I don't know why this is popping in my head, but if you already work with like a lot of crystals or tools or sacred objects, I don't know why I feel called to say this again, but it might be supportive to two things: to do a deep cleanse on all of your spiritual tools, and the second, to also give yourself space to reconnect with your pure essence without all of the tools. So maybe just spending a day or like 3 days or however long you feel called to actually not wear any crystals or anything on your body, to go out in nature and to just get like a full like resetting, a full cleanse. Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's see. And of course, just checking in to see if that feels authentic to you. So we have pink tourmaline, forgiveness, which again is just reconfirming from the channeled message, the finding deeper levels of forgiveness so we can let go, especially towards ourselves. And then we have healthy boundaries. So honestly, this is like really, really making me think of like Saturn energy, because Saturn in Pisces right now, and Saturn, I believe Saturn as well as Mars, but depends on who you ask. But I believe both of those, in my opinion, represent boundaries. And we're gonna be having like eclipse season coming up soon, so it'll be working with that Aries Libra energy. And then thinking of Pisces is a really good sign when we think about what it means to have forgiveness, compassion, and remembrance of oneness, and also of like that whole like everything is evolving and doing its best as it can within that moment. So at the core level of ourselves, nothing is truly malicious, even though we may perceive it that way. But there are so many factors that we can't comprehend. So what does it mean to allow ourselves to just find forgiveness, so then we can move on, to let go, to find acceptance and understanding, and let ourselves experience renewal and new things. So, and healthy boundaries, just thinking of like, what are you allowing in your world? And honestly, like, what is worthy of being in your world, especially when we think of reclaiming your power with that Panther spirit. So purging and purifying any of those boundaries that are not, that have been lacking. So maybe tearing down the boundaries that you had and building up a solid foundation of boundaries so that you can be more supported moving forward, because there's a lot of I feel like processing, especially in that emotional, mental body. And I think that with that pull of the full moon energy towards the end of the month, there'll be a lot of awareness of places where there has been this holding on to of things that truly aren't serving us and truly just leave us in these places of the past where those fragments of ourselves don't really need to be anymore, and to really be more within this presence of what is now. What are the gifts of what we're surrounded by now, and how are we cherishing and honoring those gifts? So you can work with pink tourmaline or red jasper if that feels resonant. You can also do rose quartz, or kunzite is coming to mind. And I'm also thinking of obsidian as I'm looking at this card, so that's something that might be supportive. We have some obsidian here, rose quartz here. But yeah, and of course, just knowing in all of this, always trusting yourself and knowing that you are your best guide, you are your best light, and this is simply here to support and to empower you to remember your inner light and your strength and your courage as you continue on with your path. So we'll just go ahead and seal this reading with divine love, light, and wisdom. We are complete. So if you made it all the way until the end, I do thank you for joining me on this reading. I did not intend for it to be this long, but neither here nor there. So if you'd like to join the Illuminating Crossroads community, you're more than welcome to. If there's any questions or comments that you'd like to leave down below, I'd love to hear them. And I do offer personal readings and hold community spaces, so if you're ever interested, that information is down below. So with all that being said, until next time, take care. Bye.